Hey, it's awesome that you're tuning in, because in this video we are going to take a close look at the Nintendo Switch, the first model. If you're thinking, maybe now or maybe in the future when you're seeing this video, and you're thinking getting a first edition, there are some things that you really need to know, depending on when you're watching this video and also like what kind of condition you can buy it. I recently picked up this 1000 model, used condition. It's not refurbished whatsoever. I told the seller that I want to have like a very nice one in this collection because he was basically like selling all kinds of versions at that point. But when unboxing, I did notice a lot of wear and tear. The seller didn't lie, he did sold me a very nice model, or I mean like a very good edition. There are some weird like paint on the back. The Joy-Cons do have like some, let's say, dents in it. And I think this is going to be a big problem in the future. Also, there will be a lot of people repairing these things because this is going to be necessary. I'm a collector, and when you're seeing a handheld of mine, there will be a new condition even after years. Not only that, I'm not playing it every day, I'm always very careful. And if I'm going to use it a lot, I'm going to even get myself a special bumper so when I accidentally drop it, there will be no damage at all or very slim. But this one is in very good condition and it even comes with some manuals. That's another thing, if you are a collector you want to have it in mint condition, oh man, it's going to be a pain in the ass getting these things. Alright, so another thing you can do, of course, you can modify it. You can just basically rip the case off and make this thing pretty damn cool, like with a translucent case. But you do have to have some knowledge like doing this, because it's not going to be like a click and go situation. Not to forget, we have the Joy-Con drifting, so most of the time you need to have a replacement, and if you don't have any warranty, it's going to cost you some money. So you can see the case has some weird stains on it. The logo has been faded away. And again, like he sent me like the best model he had, but the 1000 model in the future, oh man, it's going to be very difficult and a big challenge finding a good one. I already mentioned the Joy-Con drifting is still a big problem. And if you're going to get the first model and they never replaced it, that is something you always need to look out for. Otherwise you need to replace that too in the future. There will be like other people who are making or replacing them, because buying some new, let's say, of these freaking controllers are absolutely crazy expensive and sometimes not even worth it anymore. And another thing you need to look out for, if the rails are not having too much wear and too much space. It's another thing that we can have issues with, so then you need to be very careful. If you're going to get this thing from a local store, always check it if they replace the rails and if everything works very well. Also the screen, this one comes with a very weird looking, very thick glass protector. It does have like a very thin bluish tint to it. But overall, when you're looking at this, it's not bad at all. Everything seems to be working very well. And again, the seller did send me a very nice model. But oh man, we need to have like a lot of repairs in the future with these devices. But okay, so let's plug it in. And it did have some issues with just like not only loading up, but also like powering it on. That's another issue. That's kind of weird when you plug it in. Sometimes it doesn't boot up at all. Charging seems to be working just fine. Another thing you need to take consideration, if these things are getting older, the charge of the battery also will be, like say, less. So other thing that you need to look out for with a Nintendo Switch in the future. We can play through the digital way, but also the cartridge slots can be a problem with these devices. I think it's not going to be an issue in the upcoming years, but when these things are hitting like maybe 10 years, like with the Nintendo DS, we need to find replacements. So if you want to play physical games, I personally really love it about the Switch, that we have like these tiny cartridges. It just gives this authentic, let's say, physical gaming that I had back in the day with my old school Sega and old school Super Nintendo. But another thing, you need to double check if the game will be recognized instantly, and we can basically boot it up. But you can see like there are so many, let's say, things that you need to look out for with an older model. It's not like only the charge, it's the joysticks, everything can be like a freaking pain in the ass if it's going to get broken. Alright, everything seems to be working fine, the D-pad seems to be working fine. So let's play a short game. So my model doesn't have any problem with the buttons, the joystick whatsoever. So I was quite lucky to find one in very good condition. Okay, so when you're playing the Nintendo Switch first edition, the display looks very nice. But okay, take consideration, if you're going to do a side-by-side comparison that we're going to do in a separate video, you will see some major differences. As I'm making this video, version number 2 and also version number 1, they are both very hyped and you're still going to get a crazy amount of money for a very nice used one. And it's quite interesting to see, because when you're looking at both models, you get such a big difference when it comes to the overall quality, especially the display, and the version number 2 even had like a better battery life. Here we can see like everything seemed to be working fine. We're just testing out the joystick and the shoulder buttons. And you can play the game Mario Kart without any problem. So that is great to see. I don't know how many of these devices Nintendo will release in the future, but I can tell you we're going to have like a lot of choice to check out which one you should buy. They released so many limited editions and other versions, it's absolutely crazy. But this is not the first time that they've done it. Look at the Game Boy, the original one, the classic, you got the Pocket, the Color. And with the Nintendo DS's also they had like a big evolution where we went from like say a big fat model to a light and slim model, and in the end we having like 3D functionalities. And you will see it with the Nintendo Switch, like we're going to get different models, like the Lite, the OLED, you name it, there are so many ways to play nowadays. But we do have like these minor upgrades at the moment, compared with the Nintendo DS. And again, like it depends how much you need to pay for the first model Nintendo Switch, because there are so many factors you need to take consideration. Things that can wear down, things that can get broken. Where we have like Nintendo DS nowadays, we can pick them up for not a lot of money, with like easy replacements of batteries. But with the Nintendo Switch, it's like a next generation of technology, and replacing stuff is going to be quite difficult, and not everybody can do this. But in overall, like, and again, if you're searching for it, I hope this video helped out for your decision if you want to get yourself in first edition, but also very important where you need to look out for. When it comes to the Joy-Con drifting, the rails where you basically slide in the joystick, the display, how much basically juice holds the battery. And in the future there will be people that will going to refurbish these devices, getting new cases, new joysticks, new batteries, you name it. It will be replaced, all of them. But is it then still worth picking up? Because what is the end price that you're paying for it? I want to thank you for watching, consider subscribing, hit that little bell, become the Wicked family, and it would be great to see you in the next video.